microphone is muted. I said hello, and then I realized it. Hello, welcome in. We are so glad to see all of you back here again. I see some familiar names, and I see some new names.
Myrtle Beach, where it's hot and humid. Hey, I want to be in Myrtle Beach, where it's hot and humid, more than Ohio,
where
it's hot and humid.
It's hot and humid here, too. Definitely. Hello, and I also saw Joni, who is a definite Hoop Sister VIP. Joni's, I saw you're working on Autumn Garden and the Strawberry Patch design, so you must have multiple machines going crazy, which is a lot of fun. So, and you're watching us live, so you're doing all the things. So hi and welcome. My name is Aubrey Ellerbrock, and this is my sister.
Hi, I'm Sarah Congdon.
Sarah is a designer and digitizer here at Hoop Sisters. And I am more on the business side of things with my awesome team doing a whole bunch of stuff. So it takes a village, right?
I get the fun stuff.
No, I get the fun stuff.
We both get to do fun
We
stuff.
like what we do, right? And I had someone, we're in Ohio, and someone came into the shop hop the other day and said, and you guys call this work. And I was like, good point.
We have
Very
lots
good
of fun.
point. We have lots of fun. So, okay. We have some fun stuff to go over, but before we do, I wrote this down. I'm going to read it, but I thought this was cool. So the first part of what we're doing this week is sort of a crash course into all things Hoop Sisters. We have a lot of new people, right? Lots of new people joining our group. In fact, if that's you, drop us a number 1 in the comments. Hi, Arlene. Drop a number 1 if you're new around here. We would love to welcome you and say hello. We're glad you're here. But with all the new people, we thought, what the heck? Let's have a whole week dedicated to sort of a crash course where you're going to learn different tips, tricks, skills, all that good stuff. And then the second part of what we've been doing is introducing you to some of the shop partners that we have all over the place. And I have a list of where they are because we've already hopped around to Canada, Florida, Idaho, California, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Indiana, Illinois, and today we're visiting Texas and Kansas, all from the comfort of your family room.
That's awesome.
I think it's so cool.
It's all over.
All over. So, look at all the number 1s. Welcome, everyone.
Welcome.
We're so glad you're here. We are looking forward to spending some time with you. But let's start with, why is Hoop Sisters so cool and different? What's so cool about us, Sarah?
So we have so much fun, first of all. But what's awesome and a little bit different about Hoop Sisters is everything is included that you see in the block. So for instance, we're talking about the free block. The quilting in the background is included in the block. So any of our designs that you see, when you see that really cool and pretty background quilting, that's done right in the hoop of your machine. So you don't have to take it and get it quilted afterwards. It's done once your block comes out. So that's really, really awesome.
Yes. Hi, Diane. Yes, she said she's taking classes at Pins and Needles in Northeast Ohio. They're a fantastic shop too. So,
awesome.
Okay. So I, first and foremost, before we dive in here to what Sarah's going to show you today, I do want to just put up a reminder that next week we're hosting a 2-day virtual workshop. It doesn't cost anything to attend. And in fact, if you register on our website, and Nina, if you could drop that link so everyone can get registered, then what's going to happen is you'll get a free gift sent to your email. So you can start stitching something right now, which is a lot of fun, okay? And Nina is our customer service guru. She is always in the comments. She's in there right now. And she is also available to you via phone and email if you have any questions, okay? So just know that now is the time to get registered for that free gift. And then Wednesday the 4th at noon, registration closes and you won't be able to get it. So make sure you do that early, okay? All right. Sarah, what are you going to teach us today? I'm excited for today.
Yes, today we're talking about trimming your blocks. So how do you trim your blocks using our trimmer by George, which we will jump into in a moment. And then after we trim it, we're going to go over to the sewing machine and we're going to talk about pinning and joining your blocks together.
Yes, okay. What size block are you working on?
So I am using the freebie design that you can snag in our Facebook VIP group. And this comes just in a 5-inch block.
Yes, okay.
That's what we got.
I'm gonna switch my camera over and let you take over. And
Okay.
this is one of those things where everyone kind of goes, okay, I think I can do this, but how the heck do you put it together once the blocks are made?
Right.
So today is a really good lesson for everybody. All right, take it away.
Okay, so here I have, now I'll tell you, I've seen a couple questions asking where to get the stitch and flip block and where to get the applique block. It's the same block. This is just one block. So what you see right here, we stitched out together on Tuesday, and I just omitted and stopped I stopped right before the applique steps. So this is this same block, just left the applique off there. So what we're going to do is we're going to trim this. I'm going to show you two different ways. One way is the wrong way, what you do without the trimmer by George. And then the other way is kind of the lifesaver way, using the trimmer by George and how much simpler it is to trim your blocks. Because after you remove your block from your machine, I've got it all stitched out. You can see I've got all this battleizer around here. And to be able to join this block to another block, I have to remove all that bulk right up to that basting stitch so it doesn't stay in my seams. So we've got the trimmer by George for that. But before the trimmer by George, or if you don't have the trimmer by George, this is how you would trim it. And it's not fun to trim it this way without the trimmer by George. I am going to demonstrate it with the trimmer, but I'm just going to use the ruler side of it. And then we'll talk more about the trimmer in a moment. So to remove that battleizer right up to that basting stitch without a trimmer, if you don't have a trimmer, you're just going to kind of lay your acrylic ruler. You're going to fold that fabric back, lay it down, and then you're going to do your best to trim. I'm actually going to try. Let's see if I can do this. You're going to do your best to trim away the bulk without trimming into your block. See, I actually did pretty good that time. But when you keep doing this, you keep laying this flat, eventually, trust us, don't ask us how we know. See, like that trim I did it. You're going to trim right into your block, and this block then goes into the round filing cabinet. I called it that the other day, and
I didn't get it. I was like, the what? She's like, the trash can offering. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, so you don't trim your blocks this way.
So that's the wrong way. That's the wrong way.
So we'll throw that one off to the side. And then here I have the other block that we stitched out together this week, and I'm going to trim this with the trimmer by George. So it's this acrylic ruler that then has this metal lip on the edge of it. And this metal lip is amazing. It's going to save you from throwing so many blocks away. So how we're going to do this is we'll take that metal edge. We're going to kind of gently stand it on that metal edge, shimmy it underneath the fabric on the top of your block, and then lay it flat. So right now, all that fabric on the front of your block is protected behind that metal edge right here. And you just want to make sure none of it's peeking out. Just do a little gentle tug on that battleizer to get that metal edge as close as possible to the basting stitch. And then you do need to use a 60mm rotary cutter because you do have a little extra height right here from that metal edge. And then just trim away. Oh my gosh, I thought I trimmed the front of my block. I forgot I added backing fabric. It's all good. I was like, what did I do? Okay, so let's do that again. So you're gonna stand it gently on that metal edge, shimmy it underneath the fabric on the front of the block, then lay it flat. Just do a visual check, make sure no fabric is peeking out right there. Because sometimes when you're flying through blocks and you're trimming a lot of them and you're going really fast, you might catch some of that front fabric if you're not being careful enough. Then a 60mm rotary cutter and trim that away. And you can see I added the backing in the hoop on this particular block. So the method and the steps for trimming with the trimmer by George are the same whether you've added the backing fabric in the hoop or not. You're still going to trim it the same way. Another thing I'll mention while I finish trimming this block is you want to remove all of this bulk right up to that basting stitch on any side of your block that's joined to another block. So if I had a block, I'm going to join a block to this side, and this side, but up here, this is going to be, let's say, the outer edge of my quilt, and I'm going to sew binding to this side. So on this side, I'm going to turn my trimmer by George over to the ruler side, and I will just trim 1/4 inch through all layers. And then the top parts where I should show you this. The top part, the other sides where we have removed that bulk because we're going to have a block stitched to these 3 sides. We're just going to trim the fabric on the front of the block 1/4 inch from the basting stitch. Easy peasy. Okay, so there is my trimmed block.
Beautiful.
Looks great.
You didn't use light
I
fabric
didn't.
this time.
I do good. One other thing I want to show you since I have these scraps right here is oftentimes when you're trimming, you're going to get different size scraps of battleizer that these are about the same size, right? About the same length.
Mm-hmm.
So if you take these pieces of battleizer, don't throw them away. You guys can reuse these. You just need to butt them up right next to each other. If you don't have a straight line, just cut a straight line on there. Then you can butt them up right up next to each other like that. And then just go over to your machine with it and use a zigzag stitch, just a neutral thread that matches your battleizer. Just a zigzag stitch with it and zigzag these 2 together. That's called Frankenbat. And then you can pop this right back in your hoop and you're not throwing this away because otherwise this would just be waste. Go ahead and keep those scraps, make the Frankenbat, and that will extend the life of your 5-yard bat or your 15-yard battleizer. So make sure you keep your scraps.
You could, and also make sure that you are using the smallest hoop that will fit the block you're working on. That'll also help you save and make the most out of your battleizer.
Yes, it will. Man, my camera is crooked and it's driving me crazy.
Oh, well.
Is there any way to save a block if you'd cut through? So I threw that block across the room on the floor, but the block that you just saw me trim through, and I gotta go grab it.
Okay.
To answer your question, well, Christine. Okay, Christine wants to know, say that you slice through a block like this. Now, I will say this one's pretty bad, right? It's pretty much the whole side. There is no way to save this block. This would just be trash because I have no fabric right here for my seam allowance. I have 0 seam allowance there. So there is no way to save this block. Now, if you trim through maybe just a little bit, you might be able to put some free check on it, still join it to another block, take a slightly deeper seam, but there's nothing that I can do to go back and save this block. It's just trash. I wish there was a way to save it. Okay.
All right. What about joining? Are we doing joining next?
Yeah. Sorry, I paused and I was reading comments. I don't see, you'll stop me and ask if there's any questions. Okay, so now I prepped some blocks ahead of time. And again, I'm still using just this free block, just not putting, I didn't put the applique on it. So I prepped these blocks ahead of time. I have 4 blocks here and I joined these 2 and these 2 together. So now I want to join my 2 rows together, right? They're all trimmed and everything. So now let's talk about how we would pin these. So we use an anchor point pinning technique that works wonders. If you struggle with getting things to match up on your different match points, this is a great technique to use. And I recommend practicing it because practice makes perfect with this. The more you do it, the better you're going to get. So let's put our blocks right side together and we're going to pin right along this basting stitch. So first I'm going to take a pin. This will be called my anchor pin. I'm going to find a match point. So this is going to be the corners on these blocks. And what I did was I almost just started pinning it and didn't tell you guys. I pinned directly through the corner right at the basting stitch. Right at the corner basting stitch, directly through the block. See how I didn't come back down into the block? I'm going to do the same thing on that corresponding match point on the other block. So now my pin is all the way through. I'm going to find another match point, and the way that I laid out these blocks, the quilting lines up. So I'm going to use the quilting lines as my match point, okay? And again, I'm just going directly through both of the blocks at those corresponding match points. Now we've got 2 blocks joined together, so we've got our seam. So that seam we want to match up really nicely. So again, right through that corner. It's so hard to show this on camera, especially with that dark fabric.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just going right through, right at the basting stitch, right at that seam, those two seams. You see those pins there? Okay, I'm gonna do a couple more.
Those things will get you.
I know, they'll stab you, won't they? Last one, right at the corner. Okay, so now we have all these anchor pins in right here. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take another pin, we're gonna go through the seam allowance and then down into the block. See how I've got my pin right here? I'm gonna remove my anchor pin. Now the point of the anchor pin is that as I'm doing this one by one, the anchor pin is going to keep your blocks from shifting when you're pinning down into your block, and it's going to keep them in really good alignment. I'll remove my anchor pin. I'm going to keep going, just one by one. I'm actually going to come out here to this corner because it wants to move a little. That's how I'm holding it. Have you guys tried this technique before? Let me know in the comments. Okay, so all my anchor pins are removed and I've pinned right next to each of them, taken them out. Now, Aubrey, do you want to chat with them for a moment? And I'm going to head over to the machine. I'm going to set up my camera a little different so that they can see as we stitch this.
Yeah, I'm going to remove your camera. Actually, I'll just do this. Okay. I think they are going to see it a little because I'm going to add some things in or share my screen.
You can remove it.
I'll add it back in a minute. Okay. Okay. All right. So I want to take you over to our Facebook group. And we're just getting Sarah's camera moved over. And while we do that, we're going to just go over to our Facebook group real quick. Our Facebook group is amazing. Like, seriously, we've got the best people in here. Everybody's so sweet and inspiring and encouraging of other people. And we just love that so much. So here it is. We are on Facebook in HoopSisters, quilt-in-the-hoop VIPs. And we have new people in here every single day. So I want to make sure that you guys know about this group and know where to find some good stuff. So the featured tab is the first thing I always like to point out. We have our schedule for the week, including what Sarah and I are doing now and also the shops. And then right next to that, hopefully you can see my mouse wiggling around, is the free block that Sarah's working on right now. And I gotta say, it's pretty versatile. Like, you saw the full block has the flower, but what she's gonna join for us right now is actually part of that block with just not finishing all the flower steps. So it's just the stitch and flip part, which is pretty darn cool. And then you can keep tabbing through here, and there's other things in there. The other thing I'd like to point out is the guides. And hopefully, again, you can see my mouse moving around a little bit. But if you click in guides, this is a great place to find a whole bunch of stuff. But the second guide, if you scroll down, is always the thing that we're doing in the moment, right? So this will have all of the replays from this week. It also has that schedule and the test block in there. So it's just a really good place to get familiarized with everything that HoopSisters does, how to do different things. It's a really good little guide in there. Looks like she's ready. Are you guys ready? Let's go back over to Sarah. I'm gonna have to add your camera back in. Okay, there you go.
How's it look? Can you see what it
Looks
looks
good.
Okay. Okay. So we've got our pinned blocks right here. Now what we're going to do is we are going to join them together. So when we join these, we're going to stitch right on the basting stitch directly on it. And what I like to do is I like to start with my needle right at that corner. I do a little locking stitch. I'm going to go back 1 or 2 stitches. And then we're just slowly going to stitch right along that basting stitch. Maybe a little faster. And obviously just removing pins as we go.
So really, you're taking your time. You're not going crazy.
Yep. Sometimes you might want to go a little faster, but
people are watching me. So I missed that pin. I'm going to snag that pin and I'm going to stop maybe a stitch or two right after that corner, right on that basting stitch. Okay, so here's the moment of truth. Let's see how we did. I think we did pretty good. So what I'm looking at now is I kind of like to look at the basting stitch on either side just to kind of see that those line up nicely. My quilting lines line up really nicely. I know it's harder to see on this darker fabric. I should have used a lighter thread, but I think you can kind of see it. And then right in this corner right here, my blocks line up nicely.
And then someone wanted to know what foot you're using, Sheila over on YouTube.
This is just my walking foot that I've got on there. Mm-hmm. So yes, give that anchor pinning method a try if you've never tried it. And don't give up after a couple attempts if it's a little tough. Keep trying it because truly with practice, you are going to get so much better at joining your blocks. So yeah.
Okay. Now, tomorrow we're going to go into backing.
Yes, tomorrow we'll talk a little bit about different backing options and when to apply sashing depending on your backing option. Sorry. Yeah, so any backing questions, bring those tomorrow because I'll show you how to do a one-piece backing on this cute little thing that we just did.
Which is really perfect for something small like
yes,
that.
Yes.
So we're going to talk all about back tomorrow, which is very exciting. Does anyone else have any questions for Sarah while we have her here? We'll see. We'll see. Do you open your seams? Are we talking about that tomorrow?
I press them to one side. So you can see, obviously this seam isn't pressed. We just stitched it. But these two seams are just pressed to one side.
Okay.
Arlene, I'll give you a private lesson on binding.
She's our aunt.
Yes.
I said, don't say you're going to give out a private lesson until we booked. I don't know what nest your seams means. Do you?
So I think she means just kind of when you're putting it together. Yeah, if you press them to one side, if I'm understanding your question properly, if you press them to one side, they go together very nicely because they just kind of, I don't know how to describe this. But yeah, they go together really nicely when you press them to one side versus pressing them open, in my opinion.
Okay. Tomorrow we talk about special hanging. Are you talking about the sleeve trick?
I get myself in trouble on these lives because I agree
with
things.
The sleeve trick is in the Spooky Cute workshop next week on Thursday. So it's day 2 of our upcoming workshop. Lisa wants to come to the binding class with Arlene. Maybe we need a whole binding class, Sarah.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
So we're gonna do a quick sleeve. You have like a cheater sleeve method.
Yeah, and we say it's cheater because you guys, I do not like to hand sew things. I'm not good at it. So I don't want to hand sew a sleeve. If I can get away with it, I'm going to use my machine to do it, and that's why we call it kind of a cheater sleeve method. In my opinion, it's a lot quicker, and yeah. So we'll show you that next Thursday.
Yes, so that's in a different workshop, but yes, we are going to be doing that, which is kind of exciting. So we have tricks and treats for that workshop, and that's one of the, I don't know, is that a trick or a treat?
I think it's a treat.
Or it's also a trick. I don't know either. Yeah, hand sewing is, yeah. Cheater sleeve, yes, Sandra. That's going to take place in our Spooky Cute workshop next Thursday. So go ahead and get registered for that. Okay, we're going to take a super quick break. We're going to queue up some special guests, and we're going to transition into the Meet Our Shops portion of our day. And I'm going to pop up while we're waiting. See, Diane likes the hand sewing.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. So I'm going to pop this up while we're waiting. I'm not sure what that means, but I think they want the registration.
Is there
Spooky
a link
Cute? Spooky Cute is Wednesday and Thursday. Mm-hmm. So the Spooky Cute workshop is 2 days. It's an hour, about an hour each day. And
So Wednesday we'll stitch a block from the design. Wednesday we will show you guys the design for the very first time. We'll have a fun reveal. Then we will stitch a block from the design. And then on Thursday, I'll do a really quick run through of trimming and pinning again. I'm not going to show you on the machine actually joining the blocks together, because instead I'm going to show you how to use your machine to make your sleeve and attach your sleeve.
Okay. And I did just put the registration link in the comments, so you guys can go get registered for that. And that'll give you, when you register, it doesn't cost anything to register, but you will get a free gift, and it will also kind of cue you to get reminder emails and that sort of thing. And then if you miss the live, we also send you the replays. So being registered is really, really nice, because it just makes sure that you don't miss anything, and if you do, we send it to you afterwards. So okie dokie. All right, we're going to take a super quick break. We'll be back in 4 minutes, queuing up our first guest from Texas. All righty. I see our special guest is in the waiting room, so we are going to bring her on. And I did see a question about how to access that freebie. I will show that again at the end for anyone who might have jumped on late. But I think we are ready. As I said, we've jumped from Canada to California to Idaho to Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Indiana, Illinois, and now we're going to Texas. And we're going to meet with one of my faves, and her name is Miss Carol Ann Adam, and she's one of the cool ones, that's for sure. Get this camera out of there. Hi, Miss Carol Ann, how you doing?
How are you guys?
Good. It's good to see you.
It's great to see you guys. Let me put my thing on big so I can see you.
Well, and I'm going to make you big on screen in just a second after I get introduced, but I'm going to let you take it away. Tell us about your amazing business, and I'll be waiting in the background if you need anything, and I might interrupt you a couple times because that's what I do if I see something fun in the comments, okay?
Great.
All right. Take it away, dear.
Okay. I'm Carol Adam from Calico Cat Sewing. We are in our 36th year of being in business. Long time. When HoopSisters first came around, I think we were in the first one. Was it called Goose Tracks? Was that the first one? I believe. I looked through all my boxes of things, but unfortunately someone else taught that class. So they have the quilts. So I couldn't bring out all the years. My favorite one probably, well, I had a couple. Jacobean Journey was one of my favorites. We had a ball picking out fabric for that, and the ladies that did it just absolutely loved it. Feathered Star was another one that was very, very well received. But as you know, people had a lot of big quilts. So I am thrilled that y'all are doing smaller things and more creative. So the pumpkin is one of my favorites. We did this, I believe it was last year, if I'm not mistaken. And it's been well received. People love it. And every time I show it on a video or anybody sees it in person, they're like, oh my gosh, where'd you get that? It's HoopSisters, they're shocked because, it's not a quilt. So that part I love.
Yes.
A little bit about us. George and I, like I said, have been in business for many, many years. I do someplace have a sheet. Oh, here it is. That tells you if you're looking for us on Facebook, you have to put the LLC because unfortunately some terrible person hacked my Calico Cat Sewing on Facebook. Not my website, but my Facebook. So if they're looking for me, they need to put the LLC. We do at least one video a week. We have all kinds of new things that we put in there. There's our phone number if you need us. It is voice or text. There's our email, our website. And then we use a program called Comments Sold, and many people are familiar with that. So we have a full store there also. And we also have an app called Calico Cat Sewing in the App Store or the Google Play. So all the HoopSisters stuff is there, and it's just a different selling platform. So
I'm going to check out your app. I think that's cool.
We have lots of ways. Let's see. A couple of things I wanted to show you. I keep these. This is the pumpkin. I keep these pieces because when people ask me, that's embroidered? I'll say, yes, you put it in these, make pieces, and then you begin to sew them together to get the shape, okay? And they really don't understand until they do it. And I loved the video this morning that Aubrey did, or Sarah, I guess, because we did that pinning method so that all these line up. You can't see it so much on this one, but on this one, it's very obvious. The lines need to the pinning needs to happen. Okay. So we have all the pieces for that. Then I started a small one so that people can see that if they don't have as large of an embroidery hoop, they can still do the small ones, or they can do the small ones for, to put into a group with their other pumpkins. So I love the pumpkins. My second thing that I absolutely love is the twisted tote. And unfortunately, birthdays and a cruise and a all-state shop hop. I understand what you're going through with the all-state because there was no time, no time to do anything but work on that, which was great.
Yes.
Here is my twisted tote pieces, and they can see how pretty the stitching is. And both of these projects use that hoop shape.
Mm-hmm.
It's just fabulous. I love it. It's just perfect. It's a perfect weight. It springs back, and it makes everything just look so professional.
I was gonna say you like all the projects with the hoop shape, don't you?
Excuse me?
You like those projects with the hoop shape.
I love the hoop shape projects. I haven't done even started the bucket bags because I need to finish this one first. Okay. The newest one that I'm really can't wait to make is the autumn garden. I know Linda talked about it. I believe it was yesterday. And she talked about having a kit, and we did put our kit together. And I think it's beautiful. And I loved her comment about all of them are fat quarters. And so if they like these 3 colors for their pumpkins, they can do that. If they like these 3 colors, they can do that. I like that option. So when we put our kits together, we did the same thing. And then we included our backing. So all that is on our site if anybody is interested in purchasing that. Another favorite of mine, and I keep this one. I know Sarah was talking about doing a binding workshop
yes.
This one as my how to teach somebody how to make a binding. So this one hasn't even gotten her binding put on in 2 years because I still use it to show how to do binding. But this angel was very popular, and it's for those that don't know, it's the same size as the autumn garden. It's super. I would call it quick to make. Most people can make this in a couple of days. You know that the 3 center blocks are the more involved, and then these corners, these borders are quick. So I think people like that. They're liking this smaller, that they don't have to buy 15 yards of fabric. Of course, as a fabric store, I'd like to sell it, but it still gives them satisfaction in a small project, and they realize that they can do this. They and their embroidery machine can do this. Yes. So it's wonderful.
And I love her skirt. You did a great job on the skirt. I love that you added that print.
Yeah, isn't she pretty?
Yeah.
I like the darker, like it's at night.
Yes.
And that was just my decision. And you probably can't see, but I did use gold for her, the aura around her. I used the gold thread, gold metallic. So I like that. And then one more that I was able to find. I haven't finished it, and you may know the name of it. I can't even remember the name. Let me get rid of some of these. Was this one. I haven't even finished it. You remember the name?
I feel like that is the center of a big one.
It is.
Nina,
but do you remember? I have it.
That looks like Charmed Adventure.
That's it.
Yeah.
Charmed Adventure. Yeah, we taught a class in this, and I believe then COVID hit, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. And so my ladies are now bringing them back out. So I pulled mine out because somebody was asking the other day, okay, when I get ready to do this, and so we were going over it, and she could figure out what to do. And we use a lot of grunge. I know Linda mentioned that. I think the grunge really accents most of your projects because too many prints doesn't show the beautiful quilting. And, that's what you guys have spent a lot of time on. Yeah. And customers paid money for. That's so right. That quilting needs to be seen. So to me, this quilting was just beautiful. But yeah, this is Charmed Adventure. That's it. So
you stumped me for a minute. I'm glad Nina came around the corner. We've been in business a long time, not as long as you, but it's to the point where I can't remember all the names, especially if I see it in a different colorway.
Right. Yeah, but that's it.
Yeah.
And sewn seeds was another really popular one. I don't have that because, like I said, a teacher taught it, and so I don't have those samples. They have all those, but I'm loving the smaller projects. I think they're fabulous. This size are just perfect. People have a certain place they can hang them in their home, and they can just switch them out. I think they're fabulous.
You got it. Hey, Carol, I have an interesting question for you that I saw in the comments.
Okay.
Do you ship to Canada?
Yes.
Okay. Well, there you go. Whoever asked that, Pat on YouTube. Carol Ann will ship to Canada, and someone else said, "You seem fun. I want to come see you." They're on a road trip from Ohio.
Yeah, we can be a lot of fun. Yeah. It's been a journey. It's a fun journey. And I absolutely love this business. You know, as with any business, it's got highs and lows. But I usually tell my customers I live vicariously through them, because there's absolutely no way that I can make every project or every quilt that I want to make. But helping them pick out fabric, as long as they give me, like a basic color that they're interested in, I can make it work. And we've had some beautiful quilts over the years. So it's been a fun journey. We're also Husqvarna Viking dealer. We do service machines. We sell all the parts and all that. So
so you're a busy lady.
We are busy. It's
great.
fun busy.
Yeah.
It's a fun busy.
And then could you show us again your fabric kit, the fabric sheet for I'm assuming this is on your website, which I'll post it again.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
So here's the backing, and then this is the binding, and then these fabrics, and they're kind of hard. I don't know about yours, but they're muted. Those muted rusts and oranges and that kind of aqua green.
Yeah, so pretty.
Beautiful colors. Yeah, they're from a group called Hello Autumn. From Maywood. So, but yes, they're very pretty, and I can't wait to get started. Like I said, I got the kits cut, and I'll probably have many customers have them finished before I even get started. That's okay too. Like
that's because you're busy helping them.
I like to live through my customers, and I enjoy when they have a smile on their face. That's the best thing that can happen. So,
that's awesome. That's right.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Any other questions?
I don't know. I don't think so. Let me see. Okay, let me make sure I type this in right. Calico Cats Sewing with 2 S's, catssewing.com, correct?
Yes, that's the website.
Yep.
And then on the bottom left side they click on that to go to our store, our web store, or they can use the comment sold web store.
Okay.
Either one.
Okay, wonderful.
We tried to have a variety. The lady that asked from Canada, she's going to need to use the one from my website.
Okay.
Because the comment sold does not ship to Canada, but the regular site does. If she has any questions, you can call me. I put my phone there. It's a texting phone as well as a voice. We started texting. A lot of stores did during COVID, because people would say, "Can you match this?" Closed. And so it worked out really well. So we've continued with that. And I still have a lot of people that use that option.
All right. So we have 1 minute left with you, Carol, and I see a question. What is hoop shape? Do you want to answer that one, or should we answer it? You can answer it. You know what it is.
Hoop shape is, I don't really know what it is, but it's thin. I had a piece of it. Okay. I don't know if they can see it. It's thin. It's like a couple of other foam stabilizers, but it's thinner. Yeah. And I absolutely love it. I'm not going to mention other brands, but there's several brands out there. But this one I love, and it's perfect for your embroidery project, for like the pumpkins and the bags. I don't know anything else that you're doing yet with hoop shape, but
just anything
totes and bags,
and anything that you don't want it to kind of fall in on itself.
Correct. But I've got customers that use it in handbags.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's a little thinner than the other ones on the market. That's and some people like that better. So it's super easy. You just embroider right through it or sew right through it. Easy. Called hoop shape. and we sell it on our site.
Perfect. Well, I'm glad to have you on here today. It's been a lot of fun, and
Thank you.
it's always good talking to you. It was good to see you in May, so it's good to
Yes,
see you
and I'll
here
see you
too.
in October, I hope.
We're not. I won't. I know. We'll talk about it later.
Okay. All right, another time.
Another
But,
time.
maybe next May. Are you going back to H&H?
Probably. We'll see.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Okay.
Okay,
Sounds
dear.
great.
Good to see you. Thank you for hopping on. Bye, Carol.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye.
Okay. And we got another special guest.
We do.
We're hopping from Texas to Kansas.
I know.
We're all over the place.
Say we've covered a lot of states already.
Uh-huh. And what I love about that is all of these shops, I'm like, oh, they have tons of HoopSisters stuff, and it's so cool that we can support them, and they've supported us over the years. So this has been a lot of fun. So who do we have next, Nina?
Next up, we have Sherry with Quilter's Yard.
All right, I'm gonna pop you in here, Sherry. Welcome, Sherry.
Hello.
How
Hi,
are
Aubrey.
you?
Hi, Nina.
Hello. Oh, look
I
at
was
this.
asking Nina how to flip the camera on the iPad. It doesn't flip. So I guess we'll flip the iPad when we need to.
There you go. I don't know why it does that.
That quilt's
So I'm
beautiful.
here with Quilter's Yard in Junction City, Kansas. And we are kind of considered like north central Kansas. If you take I-70, we are between exits 295 and 298. And we are right close to the Fort Riley military base. So that's where we're located.
Okay. Wow.
Okay, and our web address, we do have a internet store, and it's at www.quiltersyard.com. And we do have a Facebook group that's just Quilter's Yard, so people can check out what's going on that. So we're going to do a little show and tell first this morning, and I've gone around collecting all my Hoop Sister quilts. So the first one behind me, this was a mystery quilt some years ago, and I think this one's called In the Beginning.
Yes. Yes, Nina said yes, and we were muted, but yes, and look at that, it's gorgeous.
Yeah, so that was a really fun one. The first year that we joined HoopSisters was 2016, and we did Elegant Elements right here. And if you can't tell, I kind of like bright colors.
It's so pretty. It's like bright, but has some jewel tones. It's really beautiful.
Yeah, and this was one of the best projects for people to learn how to use their embroidery machines. And that's what I always say about HoopSisters projects. If you want to learn how to use your machine, you need to get one of these, because by the time you're remember how to do them. Okay, and I've got one more over here. This one might look familiar. This is Toby and Journey, and this is actually HoopSisters. I bought it when you were selling store models.
Oh my gosh, that's cool.
Yeah, so because I can't get them all done. All right,
Yeah.
I have my two gals here that are working today, and they're going to hold up samples. So let me get down where you can actually see. This is this year's mystery.
Oh, that's cool. I love the red.
Pretty.
Let's see if I can turn it and get it better for you. Nope. So I wanted something fall. I
Yeah,
think this is fall. You guys tell me if you can't see it. Good.
I can see it. It's beautiful.
Okay. So I try to hang all the mysteries in the same place because they end up about the same size, so I can rotate them out by season.
Okay.
And this one I don't have the back on yet, so you're not going to get to see it.
That's okay.
This one is Old Glory.
Yeah,
And
love
this is
it.
the one that has the Pledge of Allegiance in it.
I love that.
Oh, that's so pretty.
Yeah. So that's a very popular one. This one, I think,
Oh,
this one
fanfare.
was 2019.
It was January of 2020. That's fanfare.
Okay.
That is
Wait,
precious.
you're showing me something. Okay. That, like that? That's better. Okay. So we actually had a week-long sew-along in the store, and people just left their machines for the week, and they came in, and we did this over the week. everybody was doing different sizes. I must have done the 5-inch block. That's a pretty small one. One thing that I did change, and we'll see if you can see it, I did not quilt every one of these. So I left some, every other one is not quilted in, and then I know, just something different.
Yeah, especially where the print is.
Yeah. And this is that hexy one. I don't know if I would ever tackle that one again.
That's
but
one of
it's
my
gorgeous.
grandmother's flower garden.
Yeah, I don't normally do pastels, but I really like that. That one turned out well. Okay. And this one is probably almost my most favorite one.
Yeah, whirlwind.
I love the red, white, and blue.
Oh yeah, I do too. That's stunning.
And what I would, so here's my next thing on this, because this is using half square triangles, quarter square triangles, whole squares. I'm going to try and take another quilt pattern that uses those pieces and do a different design using the HoopSisters.
Yeah,
we'll try that. See how it works.
Oh, I'm gonna like this. I can tell by the colors.
Okay, so this was the mystery last year, I think.
I don't know the year, but it's called Hidden Gems. Yeah, I think it was 2 years.
Yeah. Again, very bright colors. And a lot of those are Tula Pink fabrics.
It's really pretty. That's wow. So pretty. Yeah.
Okay. We got one more here.
Oh, there's a big one coming up. That's not a mystery.
Sisterhood. Tip it down. So this one, I really like it. I use variegated thread in it. I don't know if we get close, if you can kind of see the variegated thread. It was a lovely variegated thread, real light variegation.
Pretty.
But the back of this one is as pretty as the front.
Yeah. Look at that. They've done that before. Look how easy they switched that. That's so pretty. Wow, that's really awesome.
And this one, if you can see, I did use the strips on the back, and I was very careful about changing them so that the right color strip was on the right colored fabric. Oh, that one took a lot of work, but it was rewarding to have done it. It's very pretty.
It really is. Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. So I'm going to flip you back around. I'm going to do a little bit of a tour of the store. This is kind of our HoopSisters area.
Oh, yeah.
So we have the angel. Yeah, we have the angel. We have the book bag, the little wallet up there. The bucket bag was a very, let's see. It's hard to do this when you can't flip the screen.
I know.
Yeah, so the bucket bag's down there.
Cute.
We've got some more over here. The truck. I'm wishing it was Christmas because it's like 96 here today, so not fun.
I get it. Same here, Sherry.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to come around here. We carry, whoops, that does cover up something. So Superior Thread, we have Fantastico, which is variegated thread in cones. We use a lot of variegated thread. We have Ropes and Anton. They're super bright polyester. You don't need to see them all the colors, but we do have all.
You got a lot. Yeah, that's great.
So there's a lot of colors. Okay. And just going to walk through my store, get into another room. We are a FOF dealer, and we do sell Handy Quilter long arms. So here is this year's shop exclusive.
Oh, yeah. Oh, look at those colors. That's
back up so you can see what you're seeing.
Yep, that's pretty.
Okay, so I did make a couple changes to the pattern. You can't see the spokes in mine.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so that was the change I made because I decided I didn't want to see the spokes. But that's the great thing about HoopSisters. Their patterns are very easy once you know how to work your machine to make them do what you want to do. So, okay, Fleur de Lis.
Oh, yeah. That was one of my favorites.
This one gets lots of compliments.
Yeah, that is really pretty.
And it's kind of out of my fabric comfort zone. It's a little bit dull to me, but people love it.
It's pretty. That teal pops.
Yeah. And then, what is this one called? This one is Charmed Adventures. This was like the second shop exclusive that we did with Hoop Sisters. The great thing about this one is the center of it is paper pieced. And then you had to learn to use the precise positioning on your embroidery machines to do the quilting on it. Great learning one for your machines. If you could see this square, I mean, it's got some unusual techniques in it.
Neat.
So it's really fun. I have learned, that black background, it's really pretty with bright colors. Older eyes don't like it so well. Does make it a little harder. All right, so the last thing I'm going to show you over here is, this is your vintage butterflies. Let's see if I can get it. Pattern. Too close. There we go. I saw this and I thought, oh my God, I have an idea for this. So I have old feed sacks that were my grandmother's, and I am making blocks using the feed sacks.
Oh, that's precious.
Isn't that cute?
That is so cute.
There's another feed sack.
Oh, that's beautiful. Wow. I love that. So pretty.
And then
Oh, look at the purple. That's precious. Those are beautiful, Sherry.
Wall hanging. I have to make 100 blocks. Each wall hanging will have 20 blocks. I have 33 more blocks to go.
Sherry, I think your mic might be covered. You sound a little muted.
Can you see?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay. So, yeah, it's backwards from where I think it should be.
It's so pretty though. Look at that purple.
So again, I changed Hoop Sisters patterns just a little in that I did not piece all these corner pieces in here. You have that option. You could use up a bunch of scraps and do it. But I used steps 1 and 2, the base down and the wool. And then I went to step 9 with a whole piece of fabric and I put the back on at the same time. I am using all Franken batting in this project.
Perfect.
And all of my backs are scraps that I can find in my stash that are at least 8 inch.
Oh, fun.
So the backs, who knows what they're going to look like? It's just a variety of things. But it's using up something that what else would I do with it?
Right? Yeah, that's true.
All right. Okay, I do have a great tip for people, and I'm going to have Amber, if she can show this. I'm going to turn it on. I don't know if
Someone said, how does she make the butterflies puffy? I bet she used wool. That would be my guess. Oh, look at this.
Yeah. Okay, so you know that with Hoop Sisters, we have to make all these bias strips. And we have found that this Simplicity biased tape maker that's not available to purchase new anymore, we look for it used wherever we can, is the slickest way to make these. And I have this heating up. It's got ceramic here, it's metal here, and it's getting hot. I'm going to pull this over. Can you guys see it? Is it a good enough picture?
Yeah, it looks great. And why did they stop making these? Because it's so handy.
I don't know. They were a product that you could get at Joann's and stuff like that. And probably they weren't selling that well in their stores. And now us quilt people have figured out a great way to use them. And we except used. So I'm going to see if this will feed through right now. And you just hit run. Must not be hot enough yet. Let it heat up a minute. But like when I did the start above us, I sewed together 26 strips. And so I could run these all through in about 5 minutes instead of standing there ironing them.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Once you know it, when it's live, it's not going to play nice.
It's because you're live.
I have to wait for my light to turn green. It's not done yet. But so we have lots of classes here at Quilter's Yard, and we do a lot of Hoop Sisters projects. And normally if we have an embroidery class, we have people bring their machines in and we do it over a couple days. Because I feel like if they're carrying out those heavy machines, they need to be more time to use them while they're here. And so we have like little parties. And when we did this year's shop exclusive, the Star, we met the first Thursday, Friday, Saturday of January through May. And these people would work on their projects. And it works out really well. I think I had 21 of them signed up for it. So that was really good. Okay, I got my green light. Let's see if this thing will go. Tip her down, tip her down. I'm gonna hit run there.
Oh, there it goes.
That's just how fast it makes the bias.
That's awesome.
And I have this one. You can get these tips in different sizes. I like to have mine an inch.
Ta-da.
But it's all ironed, ready for you to put on. Just that fast.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, Miss Sherry, I do have one question for you. Someone wanted to know if you used wool in your butterfly blocks.
Yes. Wool in your butterfly blocks.
What about the butterflies?
Wool.
Wool, yes, definitely. I used wool in them. Let's see if you can.
Oh yeah, you can
Let's
tell
see
that.
the puffy on here.
That's great, great
Yeah.
definition, I guess, if you will, 3D
I
effect.
love how it looks like the hand done blanket stitch
Mhm.
around all of it. I mean, they look like they're almost hand done, except they're on the embroidery machine and they're so much faster.
Oh yes, so pretty.
Yeah. Yeah, I use wool in about everything. If I have a new person starting on a Hoop Sisters, I really suggest maybe for their first project they don't use wool until they can control their machine a little better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's fantastic. I'm going to drop your website in the comments one more time, and we really appreciate you guys showing us your shop. We love you. Thank you for your support, and it's been really fun to get to peek into your world a little bit.
Yep.
Okay.
I think that's all I've got to say. If anybody
All
has
right,
any
wonderful.
questions,
We wanted to make sure. All right, thank you so much.
Sherry.
Bye-bye. Okay, awesome. Now we've hit Texas and Kansas on our stops, which has been so much fun.
More stops tomorrow.
That's right. And I have a giveaway, so don't go anywhere. I'm gonna do
And
And you had something too.
yeah, while you're doing that, I just wanted to send a special hello and shout out to Sherry Packard. She's been watching us recently. She visited us during the shop hop here at our store in Lima, and I just wanted to say hello. We're so glad you found us, and we're so glad that you're enjoying yourself. So, yeah, we've had a lot of great people.
I heard a rumor she got a new machine.
And she did.
Good for you.
Congratulations, too.
Yeah. Okay, so last chance. There's more than this watching, so make sure you type the word fun in the comments, whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube. We're about to hit this button, and the winner is going to receive $20 in store credit.
Here we go. Already's doing the drum roll. I don't know if you can hear it.
I'm going to be a drummer by the time this is over. ML Weber, congratulations. So you are watching over on YouTube. Nina, what does ML need to do?
ML, would you please send me an email within the next 5 days to Nina, Nina, @HoopSisters.com. Just let me know you're the winner of the $20 store credit, and I'll get you taken care of.
Yep, and tomorrow is our last day this week that we will be live.
Last week for live.
Mhm.
However, we will have a series of 4 shops that have a video that they prepared for you, and we will be showing those on Saturday beginning at 12 noon Eastern time. So look for those. We're going to have 4 videos, 4 shops that are going to share. And we're super glad that everyone's participating. We hope you guys have enjoyed it. We have.
We have. It's been really fun to give you all a basic crash course on all things Hoop Sisters. And don't forget, next week we are doing a free virtual workshop.
That's right.
Where we're going to knock your socks off with a brand new design. Sarah's going to stitch it live, and we have tips, tricks, and treats up our sleeve, including, speaking of sleeve, a cheater sleeve method for the back of your quilt. So we've got a lot of fun stuff coming up. Go ahead and get
Yes.
registered for
I'm
that
sorry,
on the website.
You had me at treats, just so you know.
I guess I better bring some treats too. All right, you all, we will be back at the same time tomorrow, and we will wrap up our awesome week of Hoop Sisters Academy and meet our live shops.
Yes.
See you later. Bye-bye.